I'm called Fongo Eric, the coordinator and the co-founder of the International Center for Environmental Education and Community Development, ICEDF. We are the front line to empower people to protect the environment. We are very pleased to join one of our board members, Dr. Shemin Young, for this particular forum on the textile and fashion industries to promote the sustainable development goals of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and reversing the climate crisis at the source. The fashion industry is one of the industries that we can use to tackle the issue of climate change, particularly with the use of the raw material to the market. In 2022, the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, the theme for the Convention of Party was to tackle the textile industry. And we are pleased that with the information that we'll be having with some of the experts, we'll be able to push some of the agenda of ICEDF and its partners and the Creatia College in order to fight climate change at the multilateral level. Thank you very much.
Dr. Yuan will now present the work on behalf of Mr. Fongo. Dr. Yuan, please.
Good afternoon. So we have about 3 more speakers to go. So anybody know where is Cameroon? Put up your hand. Nobody. It's in Africa. So actually, Mr. Fogan is my partner for a few years. And then you can see the collaboration on the climate areas, how we're going to do. So we have 2 projects. Number 1, when we talk about the UN Global Compact, use Google search and then you can see UN, United Nations Global Compact. They have 2 kinds of members. One will be about business sectors and the other will be the NGO sectors. So Mr. Fogan actually is the UN Global Compact member for many, many years, over 10 years, I think. It's accredited. So they have been focused a lot of things on the SDGs number 13, climate change, and what they've been doing in like waste collection, protecting about ocean. And there's 2 things I want to mention, which is related to today's theme. Number 1 is about fashion. Because they talk about the raw material, how they can get it from the environment and then doing export, okay? And the second thing is about empower women, because we have been organizing the Miss Environmental Contest in the past 2 years, and our Gracia Christian College is also a supporting organization. When we are talking about the Miss Environmental Contest, it's not just talking about we want to choose somebody looking, elegant, all those. It's about how the ladies can connect herself to the environment, how to appreciate the environment and then put into the women attribute and bring up the reconnectivity with the community. So now I'm going to the PowerPoint about the materials. Okay, so here we talk about the future when we talk about the raw materials from the developing countries, maybe cotton, maybe hemp, or maybe other like aluminum, whatever. When we talk about fashion, it's not just only talk about the clothing items, maybe the hat or maybe the shoes that you wear, maybe you need to have some kind of cotton, right? So number 1, if we're going to apply supply chain management, the concept, anybody heard about the model, SCOR model? Testing about your understanding. I saw somebody pick up your hand, Henry, right? Yeah, okay. Henry, what is SCOR? Yeah, I've been working on supply chain many years. Supply chain operation reference model, SCOR model. The reason why I want to mention about the supply chain SCOR model, because in the fashion industry now, they focus on materials, how to do sourcing. But in this session, we are later on, discuss with Dr. William Tian and also Song Yang from Beijing, will be more on technology area, because we want to have technology at the end to educate the community how to look at fashion and also job creation. Because the work environment changing, we use a lot of AI, but Mr. Fogon will be coming from the developing country. That's why we talk about the raw materials. When we talk about the material shipping to the manufacturing process, we need to know what will be the time cost, the lead time, and also the local farmers when they talk about how to extract about the raw materials going back to the manufacturing process. If we take a look for the literature review and also the PowerPoint here, they mention about two main concerns. Number one, even though maybe they have local supply of the raw materials will be good for making fashion, the clothing item, textile, all those, but they concern number one, the shipping costs. So that will be linked up to the logistic matters. So the second thing will be talking about the raw materials in the local developing countries, whether they understand about what is the standard, compliance standard. Because in fashion, as the previous speakers mentioned about the compliance, the regulation, all those, they're very important. So that's why you can see here, I don't want to spend too much time in the Eric's PowerPoint because we have two speakers already on site. Dr. William Tian from Singapore and also Mr. Sung Yang is a very famous art entrepreneur. So we can leave more time with the interaction with the on-site speakers. So the conclusion will be, if we're talking about the raw material from developing countries, we need to think about what are those materials. Cotton, hemp, bamboo, their characteristics, which part of the garment that they can be integrated, what will be the cost, the shipping cost, the logistics, and the second thing will be about the compliance. Say, for example, if you have the bamboo coming from Africa, compare with the bamboo coming from China, because they have a big bamboo garden there. And also maybe in the Kyoto, they have a very big bamboo garden. Have you, anybody heard about it? Yeah. So if you understand about the distance between your manufacturing location and the raw materials where the country coming from, and then think about the time cost, the logistic, and also the educational level of the farmers locally, and then you can create new values in the business model. If you keep on using the old way of thinking, oh, raw material will be coming from blah, 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 okay, and then you will miss out some kind of risk, maybe from the logistic or delivery or maybe other compliance. And the second thing here, the conclusion that we talk about, the consideration will be the choice of the raw material bring negative or positive. So I have one example in here which is pretty good. Say, for example, we talk about the ladies or the women or the kids in Africa. They are not just only talking about education will be needed, they can also be fashion models. Have you realized that a lot of fashion magazines, they're using models, which is maybe from Africa? So this is about the diversity. When we talk about SDGs, not just only talk about the climate change number 13, Dr. William, you mentioned, but also we talk about gender equality in fashion industry. And also number 10, about removal inequalities. How are we going to create some job for the women that maybe they are suitable for, even though the time or the geographical area will be too far away, right? So that will be also a kind of job and also a kind of resources in your supply chain in fashion industry. And remember all the stakeholders, we need to outline and also identify and put into your whole supply chain to see what will be the roles that they are capable and they can perform. Right? And then the policy we just mentioned, okay, and green procurement policy. So in Hong Kong, we also have a lot of green procurement and also the ISO standard, about 20,400. So following with the compliance and also the logistic arrangement, and then think about where the raw material coming from, and then you can build a business model. So these are the examples from Cameroon and also Kenya, cotton, hemp, and also the African textile. So actually, African the industry in the fashion and in farming is on the rise. So you can think about which part, if they are part of your supply chain, think about whether you want to switch the suppliers and think about what will be the reallocation of the resources. Because fashion industry, they have different kind of model, okay? Some may be focused on mass production, some will be DIY, some will be focused on diversity, and then helping the women in developing countries. So that's why the whole landscape is going to be changed, and then that will be one of the key output of the session from Mr. Eric Vaughan. Thank you.